Thank you for joining us. I am Frank Omalape. We begin right now from the state federal capital territory, where the federal government has said he's bowing to pressure from the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, telecom operators and subscribers that refused the planned imposition of 5% excess duty on telecom operations. The federal government announced the suspension of the proposed 5% excise duty and inaugurated a committee chaired by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, to immediately review the policy. Pantami will inaugurated the committee on the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari, with the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, as member, said the decision to suspend the policy will be made after the committee completes its report. Pantami said the suspension of the policy that was directed by Buhari followed his petition as the chairman of the Presidential Council on Digital Economy and E-Government. According to him, the 5% levy has the potential to impact negatively on the digital economy sector, and particularly telecommunications, which is already overburdened with a plethora of taxes totaling about 41 categories. And now the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has lamented the economy's continued struggle with inhibiting burdens despite recorded growth rate. The Chamber's remark was contained in its statement on Nigeria's economic growth performance, where it expressed concern over inflation, weak revenue generation, generated infrastructure, forex challenges, unsustainable cost profile seen in debt services and subsidy payment, and the daunting threat of worsening insecurity that have been setbacks to the growth of the economy. The Director General Chinyere Almona said though the economy has substantially or consistently recorded growth rate, breaking many analyst predictions of expected lower growth rate, the growth of 1.2% recorded for agriculture and the 3% for manufacturing were comparatively low when compared with other sectors that grow about 5%. Almona, however, advised the federal government to sustain its targeted interventions in selected critical sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, export, infrastructure, tackling insecurity, and free more money from subsidy payment. And in the meantime, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, disclosed that the federal government generated the sum of 600.1 billion naira from value-added tax in the second quarter of the year. The figure represented a growth rate of 1.96% when compared to the 588.59 billion naira recorded in the preceding quarter. According to the value-added tax second quarter 2022 report, which was obtained from the Statistical Agency's website, local payments accounted for about 359.12 billion naira of total collections, while foreign VAT payment contributed about 111.13 billion naira in the review period. Quarter-on-quarter, electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply recorded the highest growth rate with 116.47%, followed by accommodation and food service activities with 42.4%. According to the APS Statistical Agency, activities of extraterrestrial or extraterritorial organizations and bodies had the lowest growth rate with 42.39%, while the activities of households as employers, undifferentiated goods and services producing activities of households for own use represented about 36.57%. In terms of sectoral contributions, manufacturing with 33.08%, information and communication went up as 18.98%, and mining and quarrying about 10.6% were the top three largest shares of VAT in second quarter. On the other hand, activities of households as employers, undifferentiated goods and services producing activities of household for own use recorded the least share with 0.03%, followed by activities of extraterritorial organizations and bodies with 0.05%, and water supply, sewages, waste management and remediation activities at 0.13%. And in the meantime, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries has approved 1.82 million barrels per day production quota for Nigeria for next month. In the period in review, the cartel is eyeing a total output of 43.385 million barrels of crude oil per day, while 10 OPEC plus countries have the mandate to produce about 26.68 million barrels of crude oil per day. The non-OPEC countries got the go-ahead to produce 17.165 million barrels per day. The organization made this announcement in a statement at its 32nd OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting held via video conference yesterday. The production table at the meeting noted that Saudi Arabia and Russia, which topped the list, are to produce 11.0 million barrels per day each, while Sudan has the lowest quota of 75,000 barrel of crude oil per day. Nigeria topped the list of African countries. Angola followed with 1.52 million barrels of crude oil per day. And now the Developing Aid Organization for Economic Cooperation, D8 member countries have indicated the readiness to support Nigeria's energy transition plan. Secretary General of D8, Ambassador Isiaka Imam, made this known when he received some directors of the Nigerian bulk electricity trading PLC who visited Republic of Turkey recently to sign a partnership deal with Energy Exchange Istanbul, a foremost Turkish energy firm with a view to turn around the fortune of Nigerian power sector reforms effort for more improved performance. The federal government's delegation was led by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Power, Nebulisa Anako, to the D8 Secretariat in Istanbul, Turkey. Imam, who received the NBET's directors, updated them on the various programs and activities of the D8 organization since his assumption of DG early this year. The Secretary General applauded the initiative of the federal government for entering into partnership. And now the information, communication and technology sector ranked as the most capitalized sector on the Nigerian exchange as of the month of August, with 11.74 trillion naira aggregate market capitalization. This is according to data released on the website of the NGX. The sector gained 4.12 trillion naira in the first 8 months of the year to show at 11.74 trillion naira, an increase from 7.62 trillion naira recorded as of the end of December 2021. The sector comprises 10 listed companies, although only 2 of them are household names, as they are the biggest telecoms in the country, MTN Nigeria and Airtel Africa. The significant gain recorded by the sector is largely due to the 4.08 trillion naira gain in the market valuation of Airtel Africa, having overtaken the likes of Dangote Cement and MTN Nigeria in January 2022 to become the largest company listed on the stock market.